Hi, you guys. First of all, so cool to see so many people on Zoom. So excited. So I'm Jeanette from Basca, so South Central Austin. So Julie had great events if you're in North Austin, but if you're across the river, come join us at the Basca events. So this Tuesday is the last week we're going to be doing postcards at Freddo's. And I know you're probably thinking, why postcards? But there's all this research showing that, like, when it's personalized, people spend more attention on it, because people don't see it as like a regular flyer coming to your inbox. So that's why it's really important we get these like done, and they're going out to doors in Central Austin. So you're really like making an impact locally. But we have a cold front coming through, so I definitely recommend coming this Tuesday to enjoy that. Then literally every weekend to the election, because gosh darn, we're going to win. We just have to. We're going to be doing block walks, and we're doing it every Saturday from 9:30 to 11:30, and then Sundays from 3 to 5. And we got different locations to make it more convenient for folks and to hit different areas. So we got south of Ben White, then we have near South Austin Rec Center, and then we have Zilker, Barton Hills area. So definitely recommend if you guys can come out to this. We already have people been block walking the last couple of weekends, and we've been hearing really good things. And the targets are people who, like, we know they're Democrats, but we know, unfortunately, they don't turn out. So they just need a little push and reminder. So that's what y'all will be helping doing. So that's it. And then I'm going to pass it on to Rachel. Thanks, y'all. And the links are in the chat.
Hey, everyone. Great to see so many of you. I am Rachel Jackson with the Westlake Area Blue Action Democrats. And despite what you may have heard, there are Democrats in Westlake, and we're super excited to be one of the newest chapters. So we also have a number of events going on. Every Thursday through the end of September, we are also doing postcard writing. We are at the Taco Deli in Westlake from 5:30 to 7:30. And then at the same time, we're also doing our voter influencer training. So feel free to come on down. We're getting our block walks off the ground, but we will be starting those shortly as well. So looking forward to that. And if you have folks in the Westlake area, just send them to the Blue Action Dems website, to our subpage, and we'd love to see them all. So thanks. And next up, we have Elisa.
Hey guys, okay. I was putting stuff in the chat for you guys. So if you're with those other chapters, please go ahead and sign up. It's going to be a big deal. Right now for us, we have two big priorities. That's like voter registration. And in that we have our apartment drops, and we're doing two different ways right now. So we're doing actual drops that go to like every single door, like the postcards in every single door. And then we have targeted drops that are to units that, according to Campaign OS, are Democrats that aren't registered. So we definitely want to hit those. So if you want to just drop, you can. If you want to knock, you can. If you want to drop and knock, you can. All of that would be great. We do have launch times, but we have an office, and the office has been open for, I don't know, we're trying to extend our office hours. But you are welcome to come pick up a turf anytime the office is open. So before you head over, do me a favor and check our website, and we will try to have people there the times of the office. Also, to help people be there, if you want to register, if you want to work in the office and staff it, Ross manages that right now because Karen's out of town. So we're going to drop Ross's email in the chat and just let him know. We have lots of, office tasks that happen, like, assembling all the lit, or, putting stickers on this thing, or rubber banding that. There's so much stuff that needs to happen. So if you want to do that, that helps us in like getting stuff done at the office, but also it helps us be open. And when we're open, we can sell merchandise. We can, sell Beto stuff, which helps Beto. It's just an all-around win. So if you don't like to knock doors or, climb stairs, come work at the office with us. So we have consistent postcards. The postcards are on Tuesday nights, 5 to 7 at Doc's backyard. And then we also have them Saturday mornings. With postcards, we have voter influencer training and Reach or 2 Million Texan training. And those are all in person. So if you're having trouble with reach or you want to get to the next level with reach, come by Postcards, a voter influencer. And then also we have special trainings on Thursdays at noon. So we have someone teaching reach there. So I know that we have a lot of virtual trainings on reach. In fact, we have trainings, I think, every night of the week on reach to get people on. But if you want a smaller group where you can bring your phone and ask questions, we have all these in-person options for you. And at some point, I'll get the links in the chat, or someone else will put them in there. But let's see. Yeah, so that's all I have. And then I think we've got Jeremy. He's going to talk to us about Campaign OS next. So let me get him on there. Jeremy, you there?
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremy Smith. I've been with y'all for a long time. Got one of my original T-shirts here. I'm at a family event right now, so I apologize. I'm not on my computer, but I have put the link in my name, so you should see it right now. And I've also put it in the chat. So you used to know this as Map the Vote, which was under a nonpartisan, nonprofit effort. But now what we've been able to do is to make this totally Democrat and totally partisan kind of approach, still free for everyone to use. It shows you the unregistered people and likely Democrats who live in your neighborhoods anywhere in the country, wherever you happen to be. And it gives you the tools to be able to register them at any given time. So if you are a VDR, this will show you where to go and you can take your forms and help someone register on the spot. If you are not a VDR, or you are not a VDR for the county in which you are canvassing, that is totally fine. There is a button and a web form right there that'll you can type in someone's information and we will mail them their form. And so we will help track that and make sure that we follow up with text messages, phone calls, and direct mail to be able to help them get registered. And that still works anywhere in the state, totally free, spread it to anybody you like. And the nice thing is that it's totally decentralized. You can use it on your own time, anytime you like. And it changes colors in real time. So as you canvass people and you find out whether or not they're eligible and you help them get registered, it will change colors. And what that allows you to do is to have lots of people going simultaneously, and you do not have to start at a staging location or coordinate with any campaigns. All of the data is getting pumped right back into the system that powers VAN. So once those people get registered, that information that is collected will then be attached directly into what's called the Phoenix system for the Democratic Party and for the Beto campaign. So we are working extremely closely. We are coordinating these efforts across hundreds of nonprofits and campaigns across the state. And then this is just a tool to help all of you as volunteers keep using that. And I actually have it pulled up. Let's see if this works. So we're going to try to just show you right here. I think this will work on. My phone is now trying here. Apologies, I'm failing at using the phone to do that right now. Anyway, there we go. Okay. So if you can see my screen right now, you can see the house where I am at, and the green dots near me are unregistered voters in this neighborhood. So I can walk 4 houses down the street and reach this exact address, and I can help them register to vote. And then I can keep track of how many people I registered. If you need a script, there's a simple script that is available right here to help you prepare before you go up to a door if you're not practiced at this or you'd like some comfort. And then you can just mark a series of statuses. So it really breaks down into, did you solve, like, for voter registration for everyone at the house, which is the everyone is registered? Do we need to come back later and register some other people, or we didn't find anyone home, in which case this will bring it back up to green after 4 hours so that somebody else can go there? Or are they not eligible, or is it somebody we don't necessarily want to be registering? Never come back. We'll give you some reasons, and it will remove them from the map. It'll turn it red temporarily and then take it offline. So those are the kind of simple methods that we have in order to kind of set that up. And then I'm not 100% confident on stopping the screen share here, but let me see. There we go. Thank you. Sorry about that. New phone for me. So simple tools, designed to be free, designed to be accessible to everyone, directly connected to all the other systems you have. And if you need any help, you can reach out to there's a support link that's in the app and little training guides. But this is something that anyone can use at any time to help register millions of people in Texas who are currently not on the rolls. And so we have just about 1 month to get as many people registered as we possibly can. So thank you very much for your time.
So, hey, Jeremy, real quick question from the chat. This is not an app. This is a link, correct?
That is correct.
Can you explain that?
Yep. So you don't have to download anything. This is just a browser link that works anything except Internet Explorer. We recommend you don't use Internet Explorer for complicated reasons, but this is something that you can open on your phone or a tablet or your computer. It does not work offline because it needs to know your location to be able to show you the people near you. Otherwise, there's too many unregistered people in the country, it will crash your phone if it doesn't know where you are, to limit the amount of information that you are seeing. But what that means is you don't have to download anything. There's no private data that's being stored or taken by us or anyone else. This is just, it's a simple web-based tool.
And then one other question, is there a way to show that you already connected with that person? There's a way to mark them as connected with, is that right?
Exactly right. So you tap on the dot and it gives you 3 options as categories, and inside of those are many subcategories. But yes, so the answer is you'll mark on there, and if it turns, and there's a little legend in the map, but if they're blue, it means we successfully registered them and they indicated they're going to vote for us. If it's gray, it means someone was there within the last 4 hours and there was some reason that most likely nobody was home. And if it's red, it means don't go there. So green is go, red is stop. And blue is we succeeded. And that's meant to make it fun for you to see all the other people like you who are out there getting their neighbors registered.
So Jeremy, so Jill asked, is there filtering potential for Republican versus Dem? But that's in there, right?
It's already baked in, so you cannot change it, but it's already baked in using the party's model on who is likely to be a Democrat. We have found that this is about, on average, 88 to 89% accurate. So that means that maybe 1 out of 10 people that you might encounter will be a Republican, because the party is not 100% sure, and neither are we. But we are basing it off of a variety of factors, like their prior votes in other states, their political giving history, the zip codes that they live in, and a little bit of like race, gender, age analysis, largely determined by zip code. So if you live in a place that votes 90% Republican and are an older white man, it's very likely going to screen you out. But that's the way that the party builds their model. So that is baked in, and it is still going to happen. You're still going to meet people because, for example, if we think Jeremy is there, but he has actually moved and someone else has moved in, it can be a totally new person that we just didn't even know about. And that person, still has the right to register and vote, but you don't have to spend your time helping them if you don't want to.
So what I do when I go do this is I basically put on my most Democratic stuff. I'll look like Jeremy with my Blue Action Democrat shirt. And I knock on the door and I introduce myself as a Democrat. And usually pretty quickly, they will tell you if they're not a Democrat. And at that point, you do not have to ask them if they want to register to vote. So, I mean, that's what I do. And it seems to work pretty well. I mean, I'm pleased with the people that I've done in my neighborhood. I've had a good track record of hitting, it seemed like Democrats to me, at least with a Beto sign and all of that. So I've been happy with it. I also because in the past, Map the Vote it seemed like 50 million dots, and this is a lot less dots to hit. I mean, this is totally doable, and we should probably have a contest of I don't know, precincts, who can clear their precinct the first or something like that. I don't know, but something fun. Yeah, let's turn them all blue. It would be awesome. Anyways, so thank you for your time, Jeremy. I really appreciate all your hard work on this. It's really awesome that we have such great tools to work with.
Absolutely. We're very proud of it. And just so you all know, there's over 15,000 people around the country who were using this very heavily right up until about, April of 2020. And so several hundred of them are back at it now. This is a really great opportunity, and we'll keep improving it from here on out as people get more and more comfortable with in-person interactions and organizing again. So there will be things exactly to your point, like trackers by precinct and counts by precinct and leaderboards and all of that coming back online. But just bear in mind that, the global pandemic made it impractical to keep, all of it for a time. So we're excited. Thousands of people have gotten registered in just the past few weeks on this, and you can help your neighbors, and it's year round. It'll be on all the time.
Awesome. So we have voter registration forms at our office. I'm sure Julie and the other chapters also have voter registration cards and stuff. If you're not a VDR, just become a VDR. It's like a 20-minute video. Watch the video, and that way you can actually give people receipts, because we are, it's kind of crunch time right now where we have like 30 days to register. Next month, the same day, we need to get everyone registered. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this done. So Louise was supposed to be on, but poor Louise is on vacation in Vail. But she wanted to talk about voting abroad. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post the links to voting abroad. So if you know someone who happens to be an American, but they live abroad, they can still vote. It's just they need directions on how to do that. So I'm going to post those links in the chat, and I'm going to go ahead and pass off to Michelle. She's going to talk about the Texas Supreme Court.
I am also filling in for Louise, who is sadly on vacation. So it was kind of my idea to get the Supreme Court justices who are running back, because here's what happens, y'all. People go to vote and they go, Beto. And then they kind of go, okay. Part of our job is to let them know who the statewides are. But then they hit those judges and then they go, whoa, I don't know what to do. So I was registering voters with Julie at the Beto event, and I went up to every young woman I could find and I said, did you know our state Supreme Court is completely Republican? Do you know you have less rights because of them? We are now in 1925 law. So no one knows. This is a statewide office, and we are 100% Republican, which means there's no speed bumps, y'all. They just do whatever they want to do. So if we can bring up the candidates, we'll start talking about these issues, and you guys can get to know them a little bit. We'll spend just a couple of minutes getting to know them, and we can chat. So I don't have everyone's names in front of me. Can someone help on the chat? Bring those folks forward. Okay, sorry. In the meantime, here we go. Let me share this with you. This is the current court. And these are the folks who are running this time: Aaron, Julia, and Amanda. And so you can see we're 100% Republican, and you can see which place 3 is up, place 9, and place 5. So when you see those names on the ballot, we want you to know who's behind them. And so is Aaron on the call?
I just put, I forgot which one. Sorry. Trying to copy and paste. Okay. I just co-hosted someone.
Okay, so there's no, so Aaron's not. Okay. Amanda's not. So we invited them all. I guess they didn't all show. Who's on the call? Who? That's
Justice Ashman is there.
Yeah, but you're on the Criminal Court of Appeals, so I did want to.
Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, yes.
Right.
So we have.
Do we have any 3 of the just? Okay, so Aaron's 3 on the call.
Aaron, yeah.
I know that Justice Rychek and Justice Nowell are on a 4-county East Texas swing today. I was to be there too, but I had this and some things closer to home. They may be in transit, and they may try to call in between. I know that they're 4 counties today.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Criminal Court of Appeals?
Sure.
Justice Hoffman.
Sure. So the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals is exactly like the Supreme Court in that it is 100% Republican, has been for well over 2 decades now. So, you know, the thing to be aware of is it is statewide also. And under our new laws that we have, not only women, not only us, but our doctors are going to be criminalized for providing certain care up to 99 years and big fines. So know that everything that we have right now is going to make it through the appellate courts. It's all going to be appealed. Those things that have criminal penalties, as well as the things that are civil and our constitutional challenges over in the Supreme Court. So, you know, we would like to at least have some voice on the court. There's 2 of us running for the Court of Criminal Appeals. There's 3 on the Supreme Court. Of course, that's not a majority, but we need a voice at the table. We need a seat at the table when these things are coming up, because they're going to come up. They absolutely are. And make no mistake, it's not just our democracy, but for some of us, our lives are going to be at stake in a court that has had a very one-dimensional thought for over 2 decades. It's really scary. It's really frightening right now is what it is.
So what's the dynamic between a court that has 1 or 2 Democrats and 8 Republicans and the dynamic that's 100% one party? Walk us through that.
Okay, so I live in Collin County, and our Court of Appeals is a 5th District Court of Appeals. And for many, many years, it was also 100% Republican. We had in 2016 a giant switch there to get some Democrats on that bench. And the dynamic was that the verdicts became, or the judgments and the rulings became more fair statistically. You know, judgments of the juries were being upheld instead of just thrown out. And so now, of course, they're a majority now. But what Justice Now and Justice Rycheck always say the times that I'm with them is that, look, at that level, everybody has some things that they want to say and some different perspective. And it is an objective, at least, I guess, to make somebody say, you know, wow, I just never thought about it that way. I don't agree with you. I don't think that's the way it is, but that's a way I've never thought about it before. And that's the beginning. That's how it starts. They've just been at it so long in lockstep that they're not even used to a different way of thinking. So the dialogue is just not there. The rulings are quick. There's no dialogue because they've done it so long. So I think the dynamic of it is that it's not that she would be unheard. They may not agree. There's not the numbers there to have a majority ruling, but it does make for some lovely dissent language that can be looked at in terms of next case basis. What does this mean the next time?
Right. And so I think that Judge Nowlin tried to join, but maybe they don't have service.
That's possible.
East Texas is
possible.
Tough, right? So
yes.
Let me ask you about the abortion thing, because that really is top of mind for everyone. How significant was it that they upheld the 1925 restrictions?
How significant is it? I think it has awakened the beast. That's how significant it is. I've been block walking. I did it this morning. I've been doing it almost every day. And I'm actually getting Republicans that answer the door and say, look, I'm Republican, but we just can't do this anymore. We just can't live like this anymore. We can't do this anymore. I can't give my daughter less rights than I had. I can't give my niece, my granddaughter, if you fall in a certain age range, you've never not had these rights. And now all of a sudden you have less rights than the day you were born. It's hard for people to wrap their mind around that. And I think what it has done is it's created an environment where we are able to have some conversations with some people that traditionally are very solid Republicans that now want to say they're independent, or they're a Republican that's just not going to vote in a Republican manner. We think some up here too will vote a certain way, but maybe not admit it. Maybe they won't talk about it with their friends, but they're going to vote in a way that preserves it. There's Justice Now. They're obviously on the road moving. Yeah, they're in East Side. There they are. So I'm sorry to, and there's the ever driving Justice Rycheck over there. So we were just discussing some of the effect of the abortion ruling. So I think if y'all can't see them, they are on right now.
Can you go ahead and introduce yourself, Justice Nowlin?
Hold 1 second. Can you hear us?
We can.
Yeah, so we have spent the morning in both Flynn, Texas and Marlin, Texas. So we are on the road headed to Fairview, Texas right now. So I'm Justice Erin Nowell. Driving is Justice Amanda Rycheck. And we thank you all so much for hearing from us today. We're sorry to do this from a car, but we are trying to make sure that we got in to see you today. Just to make it quick about me, I am a judge on the 5th District Court of Appeals along with Justice Rycheck. Oh goodness, I did something. Along with Justice Rycheck, we basically work on the Court of Appeals in the Dallas area. I think you all are familiar with the 3rd Court of Appeals. And so you all know that in 2018, both the 3rd Court of Appeals and our court, which were all Republican courts, were flipped when Democrats ran and won benches on those courts. And since having won benches on those courts, we've really made a change in our intermediate appellate courts in the state. They've become more fair and balanced. We've got jury trials are more favorable. People feel like they're getting a fair shake in front of our courts. That being said, we are often stymied by our Texas Supreme Court and our Court of Criminal Appeals, our highest courts, because our job is to apply the law. And sometimes that law, we really believe, doesn't really give justice to every type of Texan. Again, our Texas Supreme Court, as Michelle talked about, is 100% Republican. It's been 100% Republican for decades, just as some of our other courts have been. And the rulings from that court prove that to us. And more importantly, what I like to say is the Texas Supreme Court has been in your living room, especially for the last 2 years. And I think people are starting to recognize what that court does. But we hope that people are talking to them about the fact that, when there were mask mandates and the final decision about whether a mandate could stay in place was made by the Texas Supreme Court. When there were voting issues, whether there could be mail-in ballots, how many ballot boxes there would be, the voting hours, the Texas Supreme Court decided that. All of the legislation that people are fighting from this previous legislature, when it is challenged, it's going to go to the Texas Supreme Court. Gerrymandering. The U.S. Supreme Court has said that's not our job. That goes to your state Supreme Courts. Women's bodily autonomy, it's going to go before the Texas Supreme Court. Rights of trans children and their families, it's going to go before the Texas Supreme Court. And right now, that court is, again, 100% Republican, 5 of whom are on the court because they've been appointed by Greg Abbott since 2018.
Yes.
And what we're dealing with is a group of individuals who have a homogenous background, who don't have different viewpoints and any diverse thought to bring to the table. And we are hoping that you will elect us, Justice Rycheck, myself, Judge Maldonado, and to the Court of Criminal Appeals, Judge Huffman and Judge Johnson, because we will bring that diversity of thought. We will bring that diversity of background to the courts, and we will hopefully make and interpret laws that are for all Texans, not just for Texans that look like the individuals on the court. So thank y'all so much for giving us a few minutes. Again, we apologize for doing this from the road. Justice Rycheck, do you want to just say hello?
Hey, everybody. I'm going to be safe and not say much. I just echo everything that Erin said, and thank you guys for giving us some time today, and we really appreciate your support.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. Any final thoughts, Judge Huffman, since you're a little bit more stable on yours?
Yeah, I'm in the car too. I'm in far west Collin County today. We're trying to cover, the statewide is what I tell everybody is it's not Rhode Island. Texas is huge. So we're down to covering the best that we can. But I will say this, I think that for a long time, people underestimated or underappreciated the effect of your state level courts in their lives. And make no mistake, since our Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court, is washing their hands of a lot of touchy things and just dumping it back on the state's courts, we absolutely will have a major effect and impact on all of our lives from this point moving forward. That's what's gonna happen. And so we need to really all pay attention to these races, let everybody know how important they are. If you know, if people want to research, we've all got websites, we've all got Facebook, we've all got these things, and we want to be accessible and available to answer these questions. But what cannot be stressed enough is that your state level judicial races are going to directly affect every right that we presently have, and those that have already been taken from us, and more that will be taken from us if we do not get a seat at the table. It's just that simple.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us from the car, wherever you are. And thank you for running. Thank you for running and being our representative in that fight.
Thank you for giving us a chance to visit today.
Great. All right, we have one more judge candidate, and Rachel Jackson is going to lead us through that discussion. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Let's see, can we get Rosa Theophanes? And please tell me if I correctly pronounced your name.
Theophanes, that sounds good.
Theophanes, thank you for correcting me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. I think you probably heard what we were just talking a little bit about. So I know you're running for place 4 on the Austin Court of Appeals. Could you just talk a little bit about what that court does to educate the folks here on the phone?
Sure, I would love to. Thank you guys so much for having me. As been alluded to before, I think a lot of times judicial candidates are sort of just names on the ballot, and it can be very challenging with just the number of elections that we have in this state to get to know all the candidates and to know who to vote for. So I experienced this personally when I went to a forum recently in Hays County and got to hear from Judge Maldonado. So I really, really appreciate this chance to sort of introduce myself to a great group of active Democrats. So again, my name is Rosa Theophanes, and I'm running for Third Court of Appeals, Place 4. The platform I'm running on is A Justice for All, which is a platform of fairness and due process for all in the courts of appeals. And I apologize if some of you guys are lawyers, I'm sure, and already know this. Others may be less familiar with the court structure in Texas. So we have 14 intermediate courts of appeals, and they're kind of regionally based. So the Third Court of Appeals is the one that sits in Austin, and it covers a very large area, which is a 24 county district. It goes all the way from Milam and Fayette County in the east, all the way out to Tom Green County in the west. And so it's really a big area, and it kind of has some geographic diversity as well. You've got big urban areas like Austin, of course, and then some smaller towns and places that feel a little more like East Texas or places that feel more like the West. So it's a big area. It's also a very significant court because it hears appeals from state agencies. So being located here in Austin gives it jurisdiction over a lot of consequential cases that a lot of them are going to end up going up to these higher courts that were just discussed. So in terms of the composition of the Court of Appeals in Austin, it has been one of these real bright spots. In 2018, we got 4 Democratic seats with the great turnout that Beto brought. And then 2020, we picked up another seat. So there's only one remaining Republican-held seat on the Third Court of Appeals. And of course, we're hoping that this is another good year for Democrats, that everyone shows up. And it's had a big effect. It's profound. We've switched from an all Republican court to an almost all Democratic court. And that has a lot to do with the hard work that you guys are doing and the demographic changes that we've seen in this region. Of course, Travis County being the mighty powerhouse that it is. In terms of my background, I have been a lawyer now for close to 20 years. I went to Brown University and studied literature. Then I went to the University of Texas for law school. And for about the last 10 years, I've focused my practice mainly on appeals, which is what I really love to do. Pretty much my career has been in public service. I've worked a combined close to 15 years for the county and district attorneys in Travis County. And so I'm really hoping for the opportunity to serve all the people of the 3rd Judicial District of Texas on Place 4.
Great, thank you, Rosa. I don't know if we have time for one more quick question, Elisa.
Yeah, go ahead.
Could you say anything about what kind of influence or impact this court could have on criminal justice reform? I think that's a topic that a lot of folks, are very passionate about, and just wondering if this court would play a role in that.
Well, of course, the court's going to take whatever cases reach it. So it's very hard to make predictions in terms of like what issues are going to come before the court. It's kind of hard to speculate on what what kind of case might show up that relates to criminal justice reform. But I can say that I currently work for DA Jose Garza, and so it's definitely an issue that's on the forefront of a lot of people's minds. Justice Shari Kelly, who's there on the court now, is also a former DA. So we're getting a little more criminal experience on that court too, which has also been a good addition of diversity in terms of that court.
Great, thank you. Appreciate you mentioning that. All right, well, thank you so much. I think Elisa, back to you.